negative activity around. Mama, we the daughters of Earth, the sweet crone Trinity, have been inspired in the spirit of compassion for the well-being of our ancient cosmic family. To understand why you connected this trio to demonstrate the magic of your power to awaken and protect our universal ancient family. Welcome to Talk with MamaYAH on Truth UnCompromised. Mama, empower our ability with the authority of our common purpose. We are one in the best interest of our global family, in your essence as ancient of ancients. Mama, please allow this Trinity to naturally raise upright our fallen sisters, to elevate them to their true celestial level in mind and spiritual substance. The sweet crone Trinity, MamaYAH, Sister Myra, and Sila Eliana Bay. Good evening. This is MamaYAH Molina Bay, and tonight we are talking on raising your vibration. There are 8 ways to raise your vibration. Number 1, become conscious of your thoughts. Everything you think, say, or feel becomes your reality. Number 2, find something beautiful and appreciate it. Number 3, be conscious of the foods you eat. Number 4, drink water. Number 5, meditate. Number 6, be grateful. Number 7, practice acts of kindness. Number 8, get your blood pumping. And that is from the holisticingredient.com blog, 8 ways to raise your vibration. Tonight, the reading is from the St. Germain Press, Ascended Master Instruction. And this is Discourse 15, The Way to Freedom. In this chapter, we talk about the way to freedom, the meditation for keeping alive or awake, the meditation for going to sleep, and how to command as Christ. The way to freedom. Let me say with great emphasis that the perfect and quickest way to freedom is the feeling of constantly moving in the radiance and intelligence of God. Consciously fill yourself, your mind and body so full of God that there isn't room for anything else. Guard yourself and do not give quarter to any kind of feeling that is less than all of God. Those who may walk and talk with God. At various periods during the past centuries, especially the earliest centuries, it was an acknowledged fact that a few of humanity walked and talked with God. I assure you, for your encouragement, that there are 10 times the number of people today walking and talking with God, who, if they could cast off the outer effect of human fear and suggestion, might easily equal those of the past who walked and talked with God. Those of former times were absolutely fearless, even concerning their own lives and liberty. Consequently, they opened wide the door for that mighty flow of God's activity through them. The people of today have too much reticence in sharing their experience of the many wondrous things they have received. Because of human opinions, in most instances, they have held these locked within their own heart, lest they should be ridiculed When one is consciously with God, moving in his mighty presence, why should that one fear what any man might say? It is he who bears false witness. It is he who bears false witness that should fear, not the messenger of truth. For at this time, instead of the messenger of truth being burned at the stake, the one who bears false witness or attempts to interfere is the most liable to be scorched by the inner fire, the flame of God. In these days, the messengers of light always draw to themselves their own. In other words, those who are ready to receive the river of light that is poured forth through the messenger. No one will be urged or carried, but each must come from his or her own joyous desire, knowing that God in each one is his own self-sustaining power. It is now important to utilize every channel to pour forth the radiation of light, to hasten the adjustment of things and conditions. When the wedge has once been driven and can be followed up by the conscious cooperation of a few of the children of light, then the barrier of human thought is torn asunder and cast aside, and the river of light pours forth on its way. In this case, the river of light is not destructive, while the river of water may be. However, you will notice in all the great avenues of progress that at the times when there seem to have been destructive forces at work, it was but the coarser element giving way and being replaced by the activity of higher attunement. I trust that each of you will feel the great joy that I feel in these accomplishments, not only in your own activity, but in that which has gone forth to bless mankind. For keeping awake. If you find yourself feeling drowsy when you wish to work, command the cause to be consumed, that you may stand free to do that which you wish to do. For going to sleep, command through your mighty inner presence that when you wish to sleep, you are held in that presence, invincible, and that the body sleeps as an infant. Know always that you are God commanded, so you guard yourself that you do not give power unknowingly to any outer thing. No matter what is attempted by the outer, it has no power unless it be of God. Command as Christ. When you command from the Christ standpoint, only Christ-like results can follow. Of that, you can be absolutely certain, because when you command as the Christ, you immediately cause the inner activity to take place. It shuts off the outer, using it only as a vehicle of conveyance. As you continue consciously to fill your thought, mind, and body full to overflowing with God, you will find that you are utilizing an invincible armor that will build into a permanent guard of your thought and intelligence. That would be your thought and intellect. Until one has had the experience of seeing one appear from the invisible, there is always a startled feeling the first time it occurs. The radiation from the blue costumes at the music festival was very powerful because the blue ray was used intensively. The blue ray is always used to disintegrate the coarser or lower human element. Beloved Lanta was always in charge of the retreat at the Royal Teton. You will find during the next 7 years specific activity among the ascended masters. Those having special qualities will be called upon for special activity, but of their own natural quality. We give praise and thanks for the mighty radiant presence that ever ministers to the messengers of light, which is ever shedding courage to bless and sustain them in their pilgrimage on the pathway of light. We give praise and thanks to the great centers of light that have been pleased by the radiation from this center, ever shedding thy radiance through this center to mankind, that all may be lifted up to thee. That was the first reading from the Ascended Master Instruction, and that would be Volume 4. The next reading is from the I Am Discourses, Volume 9, and this is the St. Germain Press. Today, the wealth, the money which is used in useless frivolity, if once turned in the service of this light, would produce a transformation in America in 6 months, which you would scarcely recognize. All that is coming, beloved ones. And one day, you will be so happy, so grateful that you are part of the vanguard of light, the army of light sweeping across the earth in your armor of crystal light. How many of you in this room tonight could tell me how many of you are already wearing it? How many of you have visited with me in that crystal armor? We are not strangers. Please be advised of that now. When those bodies of yours sleep, how we take advantage of that opportunity to see you, grasp your hand, shake your hands, and say, children of earth, go on and on and on. If you will remind yourself of this on going to sleep, you will return with a strength and energy which you never conceived possible. I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, who have this human sense of years upon you, try it. Give us your attention on going to sleep. First, to your mighty I Am presence, always. Then to us. And ask for our sustained energy and youthful action. And see if you do not see the change. We are offering the presence of light to you. And we know how to release it. You must first make your call. And then what you lack in your feeling, we can supply temporarily until you are the master of substance and vibration. How many of you in this room can think with me for a few moments? Remember, if it were not for the vibratory action of life in your body, the structure of your human body would not hold together 15 minutes. That is the truth of life. All life's mighty action is substance and vibration. Therefore, the power of life within you is the vibratory action which makes every organ of your bodies function. It circulates your blood and the nerve fluid through your nerves. Then still, beloved ones, you think that life cannot produce its perfection in your human form because the appearance has caused you to believe it was difficult to do. Will you not remove that difficulty from your feeling world and just let life set you free? Think of your power of qualification in the words that you use by the hour. And be very careful, beloved ones, that you do not joke with the law. It might choose to joke with you. It is not quite safe, you see. You are responsible for every vibratory action which you send forth in your world of action. You do not quite understand that, but you cannot speak a word. You cannot feel a feeling that you do not send forth a vibratory action into your world of action. If you understood and would send forth the Ascended Master's words of power, which are in these readings, in your mighty I am decrees, and stand by them, soon you would see the outpicturing of the perfection of their qualities, which is in their words. Oh, please, won't you remember to not ever say, I can't, I am broke, I am a failure. Oh, please, do not ever say those words again. You are being false to life when you use those terms. I am very serious just now, beloved ones. You are untrue to life when you let your lips or your feelings utter those words. I am sick, I am unhappy, I am broke, I am helpless, I am the victim of circumstances. Oh, my dear people, what makes a discordant circumstance? Your denial of the I am powers of life. Beloved ones, I plead with you, be careful of your words and the vibratory action which goes out from your feeling world. When you see or realize that your feeling is the powerhouse of you and your world, if you charge that feeling with discord and limitation, how can you hope to have harmony, happiness, and the victory of life? Since this service has been rendered, tonight I am prompting you on these things. And won't you be kind enough, please, to stand guard and be alert to your words and feelings? Oh, if you would only do it for 30 days, you would see the reason why I plead with you. Thus, you would allow us to give you the assistance which life wants you to have. Then, you would come into sufficient mastery so quickly that you would not require our assistance. But today you do require it very much. I do so deeply appreciate your love and kindness in this audience tonight. That has made it possible for me to render this service, which you cannot quite even imagine tonight. I ask every one of you in the days to come to watch your feelings and watch your conditions and see if you will not come back to me within 6 months and tell me of my victory acting in you. Mighty powers of the light, enfold these beloved people of earth, these beloved students of the light, and clothe them this hour in your crystal armor and hold it above them until their ascension. Clothe them tonight in the glory of thy presence, thy mighty radiance, which this crystal armor holds within the compass of action, within the human octave. And let it do its perfect work for the people of America, for your beloved America, that each may render the maximum service in the call of life for themselves and which America needs today. Remember this cup of light which America is and how much depends upon that cup being filled to overflowing with light so it can spread to the rest of the world. Remember, children of the light, you have a mighty service to render. As more of your beloved Americans and those of other nations are drawn into this great light of the mighty I am present, then will all become easier and easier for you in your service to the light. Then there will come one great family of harmonious, happy action, which will release the powers of light. Then each one will call for the blessing of the others, instead of feeling unkind one to the other. So tonight, carry with you, my beloved ones, my victory. Wear my garment of crystal armor so you may walk in the world, but not be of it. Then you will be untouched by its human discord. Then, in that harmony of life, you may call forth the perfection of life with such speed and power that no one will question the presence and power of life in its victory over human conditions. I thank you. Now envision the violet flame. Sweep the violet flame through us. Beloved mighty I am present. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Almighty I am. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Give thy command. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Increase it each hour. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Sweep the violet flame through us. Love, peace, truth, freedom, justice, wisdom, and power. And that is the end of the reading tonight. I'm going to open the queue. So if you would like to say something, please hit *6 to come into the queue. No one wants to talk tonight. This is Talk with MamaYAH. Okay. Good evening.
I greet you, beloved Master.
How are you?
What a beautiful, glorious, wondrous, joyous, and loving day it is.
It's wonderful.
I thank you, MamaYAH. I thank you, Prime Creator. I thank you, Father Yah. What a beautiful, glorious, wondrous, joyous, and loving day it is. Hey, beautiful subject tonight.
Yes. Well, it's important to consciously raise your own vibration, and there are ways to do that. And, of course, breathing is the first way. That's why we were talking about the science of breath in the last few weeks. Then also knowing to call on your guides. You know, the Ascended Masters are there. That's why so many people still call on Master Jesus, who is Sananda on the inner level. But we are each in an ascension process. And especially, I think, the people that come on this call, they're very conscious of what's going on around them. So I was guided to this reading from the I Am Discourses and the Ascended Masters tonight.
Light is love, and love is light.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to breathe properly. We got to breathe through our nose. That's for sure.
That's it. And that little book, The Science of Breath, those exercises are invaluable. Mm-hmm. Everything is linked at the website, DivineConnectionChurch.wordpress.com, including this evening, Raising Your Vibration. So Tom, tell us, how did you come to raise your consciousness and your vibration?
Well, you talked about diet. Diet is very important. Brother Zora from the Hollow Earth, you said don't jokingly do this or don't jokingly do that, but he puts a little humor into it. The people that aren't of a higher vibration, the ones that are still stuck in the 3D rut. But anyway, he puts a little humor in it. He says, these people, they think we're going to come down here and eat them. But he says, I assure you that's not going to happen ever, because we're vegetarians. And he's speaking of the galactic, and the cosmic realm. But anyway, he says, we're not going to come down here and eat you, because that wouldn't be possible, because we're vegetarians. And I can attest to the fact that he's totally vegetarian, because I dined and had salads with him, and I provided salads for a lot of people when I was up at the conference here a month ago. Well, almost a month ago, 3 weeks ago. Anyway, it's all beautiful. I just thank you for, like I said, the ones that are missing your call, MamaYAH, they're missing the boat, literally, because you are bringing some very pertinent information. The third wave of ascension did happen on the 20th, and it's up to us light workers to continue to carry the light, to make those and help those, find their way to their fifth dimensional being. And we got to continue to carry the light and make sure that no one gets left behind. Just as sure as the goal on the surface is to make sure that all 7.4 billion people on this surface we live on get blessed. The ones out there in the cosmic realm, they pretty much got it right already anyway, and that's why they're here to help us. So there's a lot of them that are interacting with us, the light workers. The mentors will be showing up very shortly. A lot of beautiful things going on, and what you said about, it's putting out, it's always important to put that positive light, positive energy out there, because it's run by the law of attraction. If you put out negative, you're going to receive negative right back. And then you got to always keep into account and remind us to remember all things on this planet is going to go full circle. So if you put out negative, you treat your neighbors, your people, your supposed loved ones improperly with negativity, you put out bad energy, bad baggage, it's going to come right around and bite you, because all things do go full circle. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much. I don't want to take up too much time.
What this evening's reading was talking about was how. Let me finish my sentence, okay? What this reading was about this evening was how to raise your vibration using the violet flame. Mm-hmm. We know the power of fire, but there are spiritual energies that are very strong. Last week I was talking about angels and how the angels help me when I need to go into traffic. And I'm telling you, this week it worked so many times for me, and I'm not just making this up. Actually, the street was clear. Every single time I turned into a street, it was clear. So the violet flame is a visualization that we can use to increase the intensity of the light around us. I also use the blue light of Christ around my car when I'm traveling so that no tires blow, no hoses blow, nothing catastrophic happens to my car, and I also keep that light around me to keep, other cars safely in a distance from my car. So you can use that blue light of Christ and the violet flame. If you surround yourself, you actually see yourself standing in the flame, and it purifies. It's a purifying flame. We are beings with great imagination, and imagination is a very real thing because the airplanes we ride in came out of somebody's imagination. Actually, all of the running water facilities, somebody imagined that before it became a real thing. So I'm encouraging the listeners to raise your vibration with the violet flame. See yourself surrounded by violet flame and see how it makes you feel. See how it makes you feel. Okay, we have a caller. 313, your line is open.
Good evening. Good evening, Mama.
Good evening.
That's a beautiful reading. And the question that I have, though, is something I've been forgetting to ask over the last few weeks. I love the song that you play at the end. And I had said to my aunt, I said, that sounds like her. And I said, I wonder, is that her original composition? I said, because it's perfect, for the title of the call, and the subject matter that you're bringing to us. And it's just a beautiful celebration of, the feminine. So I said, this is just perfect. I wondered, is that her song?
So yes, it is. Yes, it is. And actually, I wrote that song for children.
Really?
Yes, I wrote that song over 15 years ago now for children.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's an excellent lesson, too, for them to celebrate, the little girls to learn, growing into womanhood and celebrate all the wonderful things that women are and that we bring to the families in the world. But I was drawn to it because it sounded like it had a little Caribbean beat to it. And I said, I love it. I love my reggae. So, but it is beautiful. So thank you for doing that.
Okay, well, I have to credit the two musicians that are on that song when I recorded it at Eugene Gray's studio here in Fort Lauderdale. And then the young woman that was on keyboard, we did it just like straight, and then she put the reggae beat on it. Both of them are Jamaican.
Okay.
And so we have two versions of that song. Yeah.
Well, I love that version because it's so upbeat, It's so wonderful and upbeat and uplifting. So, thank you very much.
Now have you ever experienced the violet flame?
Well, yes, I have. Okay, so you're going to try to put me back on topic.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I take the opportunity to ask you if you're familiar with the violet flame. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's really odd that without really consciously trying to do the Saint Germain meditation on occasions, when I close my eyes, I will see, if I'm meditating sometimes, I will see it's like black, and then I'll see purple, intense, beautiful, like ultraviolet purple swirls, and just, and so I get that, and it's very relaxing. And then there's a lady named Cheryl that does like these extended meditations on Sundays and Mondays, and she works with Saint Germain a lot. So I've done some of that with her group, on those calls, and it is it's interesting, but I am curious. I guess I have to speak truth and say I'm curious about. And I've read and I've seen the parts of the movie, the Brother, Son, Sister Moon, I think it is, and read the whole lore and legend of the Comte de Saint Germain and all of that. And I don't know. I just don't know if I'm buying it.
You don't. Okay, let me see. We all say read the book. All the books tell us about personal power.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the stories, the resurrection of Christ. The Hindu or the Buddhist state of ecstasy. All of these spiritual readings or stories or folklore or whatever you want to call them, talk about personal power. And what I'm trying to do tonight is to ignite your imagination to see the flame of personal power. See that flame, which is in you, because just like the candle has that little blue light in the middle, when you light a candle, if you look at it, you see a blue light in the middle. Well, we are like that candle. We have that core flame. And when you concentrate on that, when you focus on that core flame, and then you actually enter that flame and use that flame and to raise your vibration. This is a real thing, regardless of what story is being written about it.
Right.
I believe
in that. That energy.
Exactly. And so you can raise that vibration. You can raise that vibration by simply focusing on it. It's just very simple. It's like you go to the stove and you turn that stove on so you could cook your food. You go to your core flame and you turn it up so that it will produce for you all the wonderful things that you came to this existence to experience.
I like that analogy. That is good. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Go to the stove.
And because we listen to everybody's story, we read books, we say, oh, yeah, that person, but what are you doing within yourself? If you put all the books away, you put all the philosophy away, what are you doing with your storehouse of power? How are you accessing that?
Right. Oh, I definitely I understand what you're saying, and just like what you said about the using the flames and the energy, when you're driving and for in your everyday life, those are energies that we should draw upon and work with. And I had to learn to appreciate the power and to grow in it and respect it, instead of poo-pooing it, thinking that, that can't be real. No, I know now. It's real and it's wonderful. This is, one of the gifts that Creator has given us that, we should develop. So, yes,
it is the Creator. See, that's the thing. It is the Creator, and if you think of yourself as a vehicle for the Creator, you are the temple. You are the temple wherein the flame resides. So when all of us wake up, when all 7.4 billion people, as Tom says, wake up to that fire, that vibration, that energy, that core flame within ourselves, and stop thinking that it's something outside of us. It is nothing outside of you. It is you. You're it.
Wow, that's profound.
And for me, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, for years, I have seen that as the second coming. When you are Deborah Christ, and I am Joan Christ, and Tom is Tom Christ, and so on and so forth. Each person has become a Christed being.
Wow. Well, hopefully soon. But
it could be right this moment. There are 10 people on this call, aside from me. And all of us can raise our vibration simply by focusing on that violet flame in the core of our being. That is it. That's what all the books are written about.
So will we be able to well, I know
not will be.
That's why.
It's not will be. It is. It is.
Well,
will you awaken to it? It is already. Everything that you've done has been a result of that flame. Everything that you've done.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of the planetary ascension, which in some sense, or in a cosmic sense, since there's no time, that has already happened too. But in this 3 or 4D sense, I'm, just kind of like, okay, I want to see the changes, and yet, yes, I want to work on myself and raising the vibration, and collectively, that's why we do the group meditations, and but it hasn't happened yet on 3 and 4D. It just hasn't happened yet.
The thing that I think is that for those who are not subject to the stories, the politics, the propaganda, the agendas, there are a group of light workers on this planet who have transcended what goes on this planet. That's what it says. Be in it, but not of it. Be in it. You're in the world, but you're not of the world. You see? And you don't have to sit for hours and meditate. You just have to change your mind and be introspective enough to go to that core flame within your heart, because that's where it resides. That's where the flame is.
Okay.
That's what makes your blood flow through your veins, the pumping heart. And it's so simple that we don't want to see it. We want it to be complicated. So I say to you, envision standing in the violet flame. Envision that. Stand there and let it purify your thoughts. Let it purify your body. Let it give you eternal youth in your mind, because that's what it does. That's what it's there for. You know, when they say people, his light went out, you know, his light went out. He's still living there, but his light went out. Mm-hmm. You can't let your pilot light go out. You have to keep that light on. Otherwise, you explode.
Wow.
Poof, into nothingness.
Now, how does the violet flame, how would you say that relates to the Divine Mother?
Well, all is energy. Everything is energy. Mm-hmm. We place labels, categories on energy. So when we talk about the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, it's all one. Mm-hmm. Not one human being got on this planet without the merging of the Mother and Father. And that is the divine comedy right there. That's the mystery. Mm-hmm. So when we begin to separate Father from Mother, how do you do that when you have the result is a child? How do you separate the love that made that child? How do you do that? But we managed to do it.
So it's our energy. It's our energy. But I'm just wondering, like I would say qualities of energy, because we want to focus on it for different purposes, different colors, like, blazing the violet flame, blazing the blue flame, green flame, golden or white flame, for manifesting different qualities of energy, even though it's all one and it's all connected. But at different times, people focus on different things to try to manifest different things. So what resonates for me more so than Saint Germain is the Divine Mother. And so it's okay, because it's just a different, aspect or attribute of the one. But yeah, I'm still with the Saint Germain that I just I don't know, But I keep my mind open.
There are many paths. Okay, so for instance, did you ever read The Little Prince?
No.
Okay. Did you ever read the story, see the story about the little choo-choo? I think I can. I think I can.
Yes.
We as human beings interpret life through books and music and art, the written word, the painted figure. We interpret our highest ideals through other mechanisms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about the Divine Mother, that's because that's what you vibrate through, the Divine Mother, Gaia. But it's all one. Mm-hmm. It's all the same energy. The same energy that it takes to make peace, it takes to make war. It's the same energy. It's the way that you focus on it and channel it. Do you channel it for the good of everything around you, or do you just channel it for your own good, for your own greedy purposes? Mm-hmm. What are you calling into existence with your thoughts and your feeling? Mm-hmm. So I say, call on that mighty I am presence. Surround yourself with the violet flame And there's an exercise that we can all do. If you know someone that is ill or dying or in very deep depression, don't call them on the telephone. Send them light. Surround them with the violet flame. Put them in the center of that violet flame so that that flame is purifying their thoughts. You don't have to do anything else beside that. We are not human doings. We are human beings. And what are we being? We're being light. We're being energy. We're being. I am. It's not I do or I can or I will. It's I am. And when you get to the I am and you get to the ability to transcend negative feelings, transcend negative actions, and you move into your Christ self, your Christhood, then you are thinking and feeling things that are bringing love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice for all. But you have to transcend. You see? You have to transcend your own negative feelings and thoughts. Rise above them.
I'm writing this down.
Okay.
That was so profound. You dropped a couple of pearls tonight. Oh my goodness. I will remember this. We are not human.
But we all know these things, Deborah. We all know these things. It's just that we have to be reminded. I myself, I've been studying these materials for years, and it's in my blog, Finding My Way, which I'll link in tonight's blog. But finding my way led me to material that I can use for my own upliftment and remembrance, because we have to remind ourselves constantly not to be judgmental, not to speak harshly to people, that everybody is trying to live a good life, or if they're not trying to live a good life, they're trying to get something that'll make them feel good. Everybody's trying to feel good. You know what I'm saying? Instead of more or less using your willpower, your focus, focusing your energy inward, so that you can create the best circumstances for yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't that what you more or less do for yourself? Do you have children?
No.
Okay, you have siblings, parents?
No, I basically a caregiver for my mother.
So you have a parent.
Yeah.
Okay, but you did say no.
Oh, I thought you said did I have children?
And then I said, do you have parents?
Oh, parents. Okay, after siblings. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you are, when you go to bed tonight, your mother sleeps in one bed, you sleep in another. If you just see yourself surrounding her with that violet flame, that she's being revitalized, energized, so that tomorrow when she awakens, she will have a more pleasant day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start there. And the more you do that with the people around you, somebody that is standing in front of you very frustrated. You don't have to say a word to this person. Just surround the person with the violet flame. And you are doing what you can do.
Okay.
And then you begin to see changes. Huh?
I'm going to actually consciously practice that to see,
that's it.
You know, the results. Yeah, I want to see that. I do it rather, I can't describe how, but I do it from time to time.
We pray for people. We pray for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, it's the same thing. It is the exact same thing. You are sending that person positive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use the violet flame or the image of the person being surrounded by violet flame, you are actually turning up the energy. You're turning up the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a very powerful being. Human beings are very powerful, but they don't use their power correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So let's practice using our power correctly. And the exercise is to use the violet flame.
Yeah. I
okay?
will do that. I will do that. Let you know how that's working. But I know.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you next time. Well, we're at the end of this hour. We're at the end of this hour. This hour goes very quickly. Yes. So thank you for calling tonight and chiming in. And I'm going to turn off your mic now. And I'm going to play Love Translation. And thank you so much, everyone who called in tonight. And be sure to turn up the vibration. Thank you.